Good afternoon, my wonderful friends. How are you all? Thank you so much. I hope you're all well. Welcome to the channel, everyone. Did you see last night's lives? Weren't they amazing? Brand new products. Today's a little bit different though. We are working with our fabulous embossing folder from our Create Together club. But equally, this is streamed on so many platforms. If you have any of our products from our website, from Create and Craft, from HSN, hopefully you'll be able to get some inspiration today. Maybe dig out the products that you've bought from us and have a further play. I'm going to show you a lovely sort of way to give extra dimension to embossing folders as well, if that's even possible with our embossing folders. So my name is Tony Darroch and this is the How to Craft Network studio. There's tons of you on. You all must have been waiting for me. I have been doing my steps up and down the unit today, counting stock, getting stock ready, getting some steps in. I feel like I'm disappearing. I need a good pork pie in my system. And as you can see from walking the dog, it's a bit leery out there. Is the weather nice where you are? Is the sun out? Is it raining? Is it windy? Is it blustery? Have you got snow? One lady said last night on the live in New York she had snow. So let me know what the weather is like. So we are going to use the wonderful embossing folder. Now this is from envelope 2. Okay, envelope 2. I can see a lot of you have been playing with it already, which is wonderful. That makes me very happy. But today we're going to do a different spin on it. Now, Create Together Club, anybody can join, okay? Whether you're in the UK, Europe, anywhere, USA, you can join the club. And we're on to envelope number 2. So in envelope number 1, we worked with this wonderful die and stencil system, and we've got a ton of samples for these. You can go back and watch the shows. On each item, I do 7 shows, okay? So there's 7 shows on this one. And this is the first one with the second one. Now, I'm telling you, you can join the club. I don't think you can. I think it might have sold out, which is wonderful. I'm very happy. So if it has sold out, that doesn't mean it's ruling you out. Just dig an embossing folder out of your stash and we'll have a play together. Before I do that, though, I do want to show you some samples from my famous design team because they're totally awesome. But let's do a little bit of a shout out. I'm live today at 1 o'clock and tomorrow at 1 o'clock as well on this particular item. And then I'm not back with you until next week at some point. Can't say exactly when. I've got a few things going on, a few personal things that we need to sort out for me and my family as well at home. So I will try and get back with you as soon as I can, but live today, 1 o'clock and Wednesday, 1 o'clock. So let's do a shout out. We have Carol, Philippa, Marilyn, Jan, Brenda, are you all excited today? Michaela Brown, Jam Harris, can only stay for 30 minutes. I saw that, sweetheart. Don't worry. I'm just pleased you're here at all. Carol Graysall, still waiting. Has it started? It's just started, sweetheart. Judith Corey, Carol Cockbain, and then over on our social media on Facebook. So wherever you're watching in the world, welcome to the channel. You're always going to be greeted with a great big fat smile, a few giggles along the way. A coffee, a cup of tea, water, whatever it may be, and we'll have some fun, shall we? Shall we crack on? That's hot. Ooh. Very, very hot. Thunderstorm in Somerset. Ooh. It's drizzly, it's damp, it's a bit of a damp squid here in sunny Wakefield. So let's show you. Now, I am on my own for this show, so you'll have to bear with me. So let's show you some of the wonderful samples from our design team. And don't forget, you can screen grab the show. You can pause, take a picture on your phone if you want to replicate, because the design team is so inspirational. So let's have a look at what we've got going on here. Now, you all know with our wonderful embossing folders, this is the embossing folder. It's a big one. It's 5x7. But you all know with our wonderful embossing folders that they work so beautifully on the deboss as well. Quite unique in the sense that our embossing folders give dimension front and back and the same dimension front and back, not unequal parts. They have the same front and the same back. That's what makes them really unique. So deboss, swiped with a black ink pad. That's a great masculine card, isn't it? So cut the detail in that. So I'm not sure how that's been done. It's got a lot of cracks in there. And then what about some sanded back metallic card? So what we do, oh, this one's pretty. So you see that in the background there, that's one of our regular ones. And then this is the side one. Now, what we do with our Create Together Club is all of the cards that we make, we pop on the back of our counter and we decide which we really like the most. Did we learn something? Or is it your favourite colour or something like that? So this is this one. This is nice, isn't it? A left and a right. So a deboss and an emboss on the same page. Try that, guys, because that's wonderful. Now, ask me how this has been done. I thought it might be Paul. I have no idea. It's glossy, it's crackly, it's bubbly. We'll have to find out before the show, before the 7 days. This is one of my favourites because it's white and I like white. Just some pattern paper in the background there. Look how beautiful that is. It's got a gold shimmer on the centre. Absolutely lovely. Deboss, bit of blue ink on there. Just bring it forward just so you can see the detail there. Angela says, hi, Tony, I love your demos. Thank you, sweetheart. It's really kind. Look at this one. Look at the dimension in that. Just look at the layers of dimension. I do not get bored. Honestly, I do not get bored. Let's see if we can see it this way. No, that's wonderful. And then one cut away from the page. This is quite unique. Blue, yellow and purple. You wouldn't normally put together, but it works. Who's done that? Sharon. Sharon does have a bit of an eye for colour. Actually, I can. You totally can. Sparkle. Look at that. These are all gorgeous, says Carla. Carla, I sent you a winning prize, darling. It's gone first thing this morning. And the other lady that won from the UK. And then I have announced one winner from last night's live on this. As I said, I go into the comments. Another lady I've picked. And I think I just need to do one for the UK this time. Look at that. Painted. Honestly, dimension is incredible. Again, with the ink onto your embossing folder, coloured up in a different colour. Very, there's a flower that's got a green centre. I can't think of the name. Another one. A slimline. This is nice. This has got to be a Karen card. I've not turned it over, but this is Karen, isn't it? We all know Karen's style. Oh, how did I guess? Like I don't know my design team. Look at that. Oof, bit of gold swiped on there. Now, this is like a collage. I really love this one. So you have Quatre D embossing folder. Then we have the one from our club. And we have just a die from a collection. But isn't it wonderful how you can team them up and create collage sort of looks on there as well? And then white. See in the background there, that lovely white one built in with our lovely Quatre D daisy. Or sunflower, whatever you want to call it. So that's just a handful of the samples. So, so let's get into demonstration. I'm going to change it up a little bit today. So I have 3 pieces of white card. They're all a little bit big, actually. Let me just turn the heating off because I'm starting to get a bit of a fluster. Let's just grab some scissors. Here they are. So let's just make our card the same size as our embossing folder because it doesn't need to be this big. I'm just going to trim these down a little bit. There's one. So 3 pieces of card if you are crafting along. Now, if you haven't got this embossing folder, that's absolutely fine. Have a look in your stash. See if you've got anything that's got like something that could be layered. And then show us your mates. You haven't missed too much, Barbara, don't worry. Great samples from the design team. They're cool, aren't they? So I need to do the embossing 3 times. And if you're copying along at home, or replicating is probably the better word, because we think people don't like the word copying, do they? I don't want to offend anybody, but, you know, it is literally copying and doing our own spin. That's sharing the love of craft in my world. So if you're doing this exact thing, you need 3 pieces of white card and your embossing folder. Now, I am going for the true sunflower look here, but don't forget, these sort of flowers are brilliant for daisies, gerberas, which are bright oranges and bright pinks. So don't think you have to do them in the sunflower colours. Although my first class is the sunflower colours, we are going to change it up over the course of the up-and-coming shows. So, as always, I like to ink up my embossing folder. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's just pop this on here. So both sides. I always do both sides because I always get it wrong. And I'm going to use a brown because I'm going for the sunflower look. And this is an oxide, but you can use a brown ink, whatever you've got in your stash. And I'm just going to ink up both sides here. Michaela says she calls it inspired by. Great way, darling. I just think if you're sharing and everyone's happy, who cares? So let's ink up this embossing folder. Now you can spray with a little bit of water if you want it a little bit more intense. I'm really going to try and get into the detail on this one because this one looks like it's going to be the deboss side. And then let's do the raised. Give it a good old rattle. So the oxides give you like a chalky finish. But if you wanted a more vibrant finish, maybe go for just a dye-based brown. I'm really trying to get into all the creases so I get tons of detail if possible. And then I'm going to pop my card inside. Nancy says she copies Tony all the time. Don't worry, Nancy, I probably copy you too. Oh, it's wonderful, isn't it? So here we go. So pretty straightforward so far, guys. So let's just get rid of one of my mats. And let's run this one through. This is the first time I've used this embossing folder, and you know, I just know it's going to be a wow. I've seen all the design team makes. I've seen some lovely makes from you guys at home too, so I just know I'm going to get a great card by the end of this. Laura says she's finally bought my ink pads and they are so vibrant. They are a bit vibrant, a bit too vibrant, Laura, if we can say that. You need to be really careful with them. They're a different sort of technology with that soft sponge foam on there. They do take some getting used to, but they are totally worth it. So let's have a look here. Oof. That is nice, isn't it? Let's have a look at the deboss. Cut out. So I need to do this 3 times. So less talking, Tony. Get on with it. 3 times. So same ink pad. And you can spray with a bit of water, but I think oxide goes a long way anyway. I don't think you really need to do too much to oxide. Louise Caldwell. Hi, Tony and everyone. Hi, sweetheart. I hope you're okay. Let's just pop this in here. So this is another one. Let's run this one through. So if you just joined us, we're doing an embossing folder and we're inking it up both sides and running it through 3 times, okay? 3 times. So this is number 2. And I always do it from scratch because I feel like this is a time where crafters like to craft together. So there's our deboss and there is our emboss. So nice. Last one more time. So if you've got ink on your embossing folder, all you need to do is run it under tap. It'll get rid of it. As long as you're using a dye-based ink, you'll be fine. So our next Create Together Club has been launched for next year, and it's January, February and March, or is it February, March, April? I've popped it on simply because this time I've obviously got my number ordering incorrect because I've sold out before the end of the programme, or I might have 1 left or something. And I don't want to frustrate by doing the shows and you're not being able to buy what I'm showing you, basically. So I've put it out there early in the hope that if you are interested, you love it that much, you'll go ahead and order it. It'll help me manage my figure ordering a little bit better. So it's a club where I send you 3 envelopes and we open 1 each month. and work on it for 7 shows each envelope over the 3 months together. And then at the end, we try and build everything together that we've put in each envelope for you. It's just showing you so many different ways how to use them. And we've done this 3 times. Next year will be the 4th. And it just keeps getting better and better and better. Philippa's already got hers, already bought and paid. Thank you. So let's show you this one. So again, deboss and emboss. Oof, that is a nice one. Right, so let's set this aside. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add some colour and we're going to create a 3D flower. So let's have a look. Look at that. I didn't even realise that, but look at that. Could nearly make her. Could you make her? You trimmed it. You could make a full flower. Should have saved that one up my sleeve, shouldn't I, for you all, and just done that in a class. Right, so I need one for my base, one for my next layer, and one for the centre. So which is the best for my base? Let's have a look at this. Let's go base this one. So first of all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one out completely, okay? I'm just going to go round, so round the edge, into the flower. And again, the great thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, is you don't have to be the best cutter in the world either. Michaela's put, I will only order once this time, Tony. Michaela ordered twice. She is a pudding. She ordered it and then forgot. And then we sent her it again. She's like, why have you sent me it again? We're like, oh. So we checked and yeah. We're blaming Michaela for it. So I'm just cutting this one as its full design. I've been doing lots of videos today for you all, guys. Pre-records and things, so because as the run up to Christmas and things, I always like you to have extra content, even though I'm not here or I'm maybe at home enjoying the festive period. I've been doing lots of pre-records for the people that maybe only get visited on Christmas Day or don't actually see anybody over the Christmas period. So you're not at home alone, so hopefully I'll encourage you to at least dig your stash out and stay focused. That looks quite good. I'm just going to trim it down the side here because I've got a little bit of overhang. So, and it's playing with all of the lovely products that you've already got. There's no light new or anything like that, so you'll be able to craft along. Now I'm thinking, do I need to, is that cut in there? Seeing which is a leaf and which is a gap. I'll show you in a second. I'm getting covered in ink, by the way. It looks like it's got a little nick in there too. Sarah's got her order in for the next one, bless you. So let's just show you what it looks like cut out. Looks quite cool, doesn't it? So that's that one. So let's just move all of our rubbish here. And then the second one, this one's the nicest, so we need to keep that on the top. So the second one, I'm going to cut away more detail, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go right in on this one. I think we'll go, in fact, let's just cut it per se like the other one first. So what I'll do then is when I get to this area here, I'm going to snip away that back one. I'm cutting away each layer so I can get a bit of a decoupage going on. Might have to cut some more leaves away, we'll see. Let's just get it cut out first. So I think I'll go right in on this one. I think I'll get away with that one. And then back out on that one. And then just right in on this one. Let's just get rid of this black line or dark line. I know when you're all watching intently because none of you talk. It's like I know you all so well. So I think we need to get rid of something from here. So I'm going to go in here, right to that centre point there where it's nice and wobbly. I'm going to go right into there. And I'm going to come back out here. This one's dying. Okay, this one's dying. So let's just move this. And then on our very last one, so you can see instantly how you get, like you're going to get a 3D flower when it comes together. So that's our next one. And then the last one, maybe we should just do, let's have a look. Right. I'm just picking which ones might be a nice focus. So we go with the double on this. Let's see. No, let's just go with the one. Then that will give us some rise and fall. And then we've got those two, which are these two. So let's skip that one then. And round to this one. And then in. This one really is dead. And then let's go right to the end. I think we might leave that last one on just to give me a bit of balance. We'll see. Yes, I'm cutting with the world's biggest scissors. All my scissors. Oh, looks like a bird. Promise you it will look cool. You just got to trust the process, as I keep being told. Trust the process. Look at the state of me. Trust the process. You say. It's getting a bit boring now, though, Tony. Right, let's just move that card out of the way for now. Right, so let's have a look how much you're going to see of this sunflower. Just going to taper that off to a point, because I don't know how, but I've ended up with. Right, let's see how much of this you're going to see. Let's do it together. Right, I'm going to start painting from the top down, okay? Top down. Right. Because we've got that nice bit of brown in there, I'm going to go a little bit of orange, maybe a touch of yellow. Let's see where it takes us, okay? So a bit of orange, bit of yellow. So we're starting from the top and working down. Now you could spray this as well. That would sort of like give you a little bit of fluidity with it, I guess. And the brown would probably mix in as well. So let's just see. I don't want it to be like a super bright flower. Let's mix in some oxide as well. I would like to keep it quite a muted flower. So let's mix in some orange with this brown. That's a bit better. And then let's just add it in. So I'm going for a very muted sunflower here. It's just some clean, clear water here. And then just drag it out. More water. Drag it out to practically nothing. Like so. Okay, so let's do that again. So a bit of orange, bit of brown. Add it to the centre part here. And then just drag it out. And then some water. like so. And then we'll do the same with this one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the brown and add some more brown, a bit more orange. And it'll fall into all of those lovely lines. Don't be afraid of it. I promise you it won't bite you, I promise, okay? Get some more brown on here. Get some tissue for my brush. Happy Halloween, Charlotte says. Happy Halloween, sweetheart. Beth, North Carolina. Welcome, darling. Lovely to see you again. So let's just leave that one as is. Now, the centres of sunflowers are quite darky, so I might add a bit black to that. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it on top and see what I need to do to bring this together. Now, these are going to be darker because they're underneath. So I might just lay that on a little bit so I can just see where I need to paint. And this time I think we'll go more brown because it's going to be darker underneath, isn't it? So maybe a touch of orange, but more darker. So let's see. So this one here. Don't be afraid to leave a little bit of white as well if you want to. Let's just get a bit more brown where it would be darker. It really does give you that illusion of it's a shadow. Does that make sense where it's built on top of? Julia Gale says, do we ever bring them back? We don't generally. If we have spares of anything, I do usually load those on, but really the sell as a... I'll have a look, darling, for you. I'm really annoyed as well because the feedback was incredible on this one. But, you know, sometimes you can't get it right all the time. So all I'm doing here is I'm just adding, as if that petal there was adding a shadow on here. So I'm pushing the colour just, can you just see? So it does look like that petal is casting a shadow. And then on here, we'll just add some brown, bit of orange too, keep it all in theme. We'll pick up some water and just drag that out. And then here. So this is a great way to actually do it, isn't it? If you lay your first pre-painted one on top, you're really going to be able to see where... Now, I like to paint it up and then leave it and then sort of add more colour and layers as I go. So let it dry between layers. For speed, I'm absolutely just going for it here. So that's sort of like the second layer, which looks quite cool, do you think? Could absolutely go a little bit darker here. Probably need a darker brown, actually, but, you know, keep layering. So there's second layer. And then our last layer, let's see how much of this one you're going to see. So far, looks absolutely awesome. So let's get some more brown. Oopsie daisy. Just pick that up. Ooh. So Brenda, question, did I ask in previous show but I had to leave, so I don't know if I got the answer. What question was that? Have I just answered that question? Sorry. Don't take much to confuse me these days, ladies and gents, as you know. So I'm just going to move that over because I need to do this one here. So I can see through the gap. And again, you don't have to be perfect because most of it is hidden. But this is just like a great way of not having to paint it all up. Now, if you do enjoy the process of painting, paint it all. Just enjoy it. So that's that one. And then down here, I add a bit more orange on this one, you know, to give it that true texture. this one here. This one will be dark. I've got one here. And because you have great rise and fall, you see here now, because we have that great rise and fall, I can really get in with that shadow underneath that petal there. Really get that colour pushed under there. Make it look like that petal is sitting on top of there. Make this one dark too. Just add a bit of colour to this in case we see the white underneath. Looking so far. I like to see white on my flowers, but equally you can colour them exact if you want to. I like to see like a halo, a little bit of a white on mine, but it's total preference. I'd like to see somebody do this in like a super bright pink or a bright yellow for a daisy or a gerbera, or maybe just paint this bit yellowy brown and then all have all white leaf petals. That's a cool daisy, isn't it? Oh, that's right, Tony, what are you doing? So we've got that one, and then let's have a look here. We've still got a little bit of white. We've got this one and this one. And then the one at the top. And as you can see, I'm not being too careful. I think the more careful you are, the pressure you put yourself under is so undue. Don't do it to yourselves. Just enjoy it, okay? What we think so far? Let's just... So in the centre, I don't know if I want to do the centre. I think I like it quite light. Let's just add a touch of colour to the centre. Just to this one. Not too much, though. Maybe, shall we just pounce a little bit, maybe? Random. Leave some white. I'm just using the flat side of my brush. Pounce, pounce, pounce. It'll just drop into the rise and fall. Could maybe add a little bit of sparkle. And I'd probably bring that back now with a bit of white as well. I'd probably catch that. Dry this off and then catch the top of this with my white ink pad. Maybe we'll see how it goes. So let's just... So what I would do now, if I was doing it by myself, is I would go back in now with my brush into the dark areas and really get in and add a real dark shadow in the areas where it would be darker. Okay, so like under here, it would definitely be darker. So I would go back in. That's sitting on top of there, so that means that would be darker there. Can you see how the line just sort of accentuates it a little bit? Go in and sort of like outline. And it looks quite weird when you first see it, but as soon as you start to build and pop things on top, it really does look so cool. So like we've got this one here, so that one needs to be darker under there. You see now how that looks? That's not even got a pad underneath it, but you can see the shadow there. Then when you take this one and you pop this one on top, you see how you've got your shadow here? That's a little bit of a harsh line. That needs softening a little bit. So I just add a little bit of water and just drag it out a little bit. Let it dry off. So we're going to get a beautiful 3D. So let's get this together. Now, great few tips here for you. If you feel like, oh, it's all blended into one, it's not looking great, white gel pens, your confetti ink, add some splats, excuse me, And that's what I'm going to do with the centre of mine. I'm going to take a sponge and I'm going to add a little bit of white back onto it to bring it back a little bit. And let's get this on a card. So let's just get a brush. Let's just grab our white here. What card are you using, Tony? Just white, oh, excuse me, white card from my stash, nothing fancy. So I'm just going to take my white here. I'm just going to try and bring this back a little bit here. I'm going to pounce. Push that, there we go. Can you see now? So I've pushed that brown right back into those creases. And if you paint something up, okay, and you're thinking, oh, it's far too dark, just bring it back with a white ink pad. Just take your ink pad. You could absolutely add a bit of white onto here if you wanted to bring it back, the detail if you want to. I don't think there's any rules. Playing around with it, you get some awesome results. So, I mean, I'm just doing note here really, but you know, you can bring it all back if you wanted to. Now that's screaming out for a little bit of gold. Let me just see if I've got some gold too. And then let's get this on our card. So I have my confetti gold here. So let's just mix a bit of this on my finger. Not too much, and then we'll... So this is gonna, the centre's gonna catch that light. There we go. Right, let's get this on a card. So I felt like this would look cool on a craft. So let's see where we're going. You know, with a plain back. Oh, looks cool, doesn't it? So let's just grab a quick gel pen. So I'm losing my lines a little bit, so I'm just going to, can you see now, adding that little line in there? Bring back that detail. Now, you can, right, there's lots of things you can do, and I always feel like when I get a great card, I stop, okay? But there's lots of things you can do to sort of enhance this a little bit more. So if you wanted to, you could just take this element, okay, take your embossing folder, pop it back in your embossing folder, wrong side. There we go, pop it back in your embossing folder, ink your embossing folder up. Again, if you've lost the detail, and I try and show you this tons and tons of times, ladies and gentlemen, because it's really important that you don't think that you just run it through once and you're absolutely done. So if I'd have inked that up now in a white or a brown and pushed it through, in fact, let me do it. I'll probably ruin it now, but I'm going to go for it. So let's ink this up. And this is where you can pull all your detail back. Get into all of those like details in there. Now watch what happens. So it looks great. We've still got our detail in there, but watch what happens when you pop it back in your embossing folder, line it back up, close your embossing folder. Now let's run this one through. And you probably, well, you might do, or you might not see the difference between, oops, daisies, between the top and the bottom. So I've done all of that painting there, not much, didn't take me too long. But so I feel like it's great, but I feel like I've lost quite a bit of my detail. So I've inked back up the embossing folder. And let's see if this sort of like brings back that detail I've lost slightly. And I can tell you it already has. Look at that. How incredible is that? So it's brought back all of my detail. It's pushed that brown back into all those rivets. And now, look at that. Totally awesome. Do not be afraid to run them back through. Even though you've fussy cut them, you've painted them, you've done all of the good stuff, you've added white, you've added gold, still not happy. Right, let's put some white on it, run it through. Still not happy. Right, let's put some black on it, let's run it through. Piece of card. What's the worst that could happen? Honestly, let's get these cards together then. I need a Right, now there's a couple of options. We can do it totally flat and then just raise the edges like so. Or we could pad it. Let's just have a look where I'm going with this. I think I'm just going to lift them because... Yeah, right. Let's just go pads. So here we go. I mean, if you did it on the deboss side, let's just have a look. I mean... Oh, looks like a mould. Looks like a mould, doesn't it? So wonderful. So wonderful. Right, let's get this on here. Shut up, Tony. Get on with it. This would look nice at the top of the card as well. So I like my things on the sides, but you could totally do the top. Brenda says, hi, Tony and everyone. Hi, sweetheart. Kay says, just joined. What have I missed? Well, we just sort of like creating a lovely 3D flower here that works embossed or debossed, which is totally cool. And then our last one. So you can really pinch them if you wanted to, I guess. Let's give them a good old pinch. Give that some rise and fall. And it'll still go in an envelope. It's got no pads. What do we think? What do we think? I need a sentiment. Let's get the washi tapes. Come on, the good old trusted washi tapes. We don't want to take our eye away from the absolutely beautiful design now, do we? So let's grab my washi tape from under here. What colour have we got under here? Oh, this is my washi tape at TV. What colour's this one? Must be at TV. What a shame. Never mind. See if I've got one over here. I've got some black ones. Let's do a black one from our lovely box kit. Oh, by the way, if you did buy our celebration boxes, the second box goes this week. So you're going to be greeted with the second box this week, hopefully. Which is wonderful. Let's get a nice sentiment from here. So I'm just cutting one of these lovely washi tape pre-printed sheets. Can't wait to see what you all make with your second box. The design team are currently working on the third for you all. Get that inspirational coming. Keep that inspiration coming. I'll just put this back because this is part of something going on over the other side. I get in trouble. So let's have a look at this. Write your own story. And I think like this would just look wonderful there, don't you think? So let's just do that. Carla says she can't wait for tomorrow so she can open it. I might just tuck that under there just a little bit there. Karen Gray, bloody lovely. Oh, Karen, you make me laugh. There we go, what do we think? Just a different take on a 3D embossing folder. So although there is so much dimension in your embossing folders, you can really, really jazz it up. This would look lovely on the top of a box lid. Beautiful flower. Now, I would say to you at home, looking at this, is if I look underneath, I can see white. If you're going to do it at home, paint them all. Paint it all up. Then if somebody looks from the side, they're not going to see white. But if you want to do one in white with just a painted centre, or do a bright pink one or a bright yellow one, that would be totally awesome. So don't forget to show me your make. So that is class 1. I'll just show you again very quickly. Class 1 of the embossing folder, which is part of your Create Together club. Now, don't worry if you do not have this wherever you are in the world. Hopefully you might have something similar. to be creative with. Still show as you make, still be inspired. So that's the end of this class. I'm back with you tomorrow and we'll do something totally different with it. We'll jazz it up. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but I'll try and think of something a little bit different so we don't just use them in the term embossing folders. And we'll do 7 days of content on this particular one. And then on the last day, we'll open our third envelope together. That's going to be cool, isn't it? And it's something totally different again. So I will say goodbye for now. Don't forget to share your makes. Get excited for your second box because that's wonderful too. And don't forget tomorrow, Helen is live with that beautiful, beautiful Magical Moments Peacock collection over on Create and Craft tomorrow at 4 p.m. I've already been asked for more stock. Can you believe it? So I thought you might like it. It's got tons of teal, and who doesn't like teal? So make sure you tune in for that. But before that, I am live at 1 o'clock. We've got some good stuff coming up in the run up to the festive period, guys. We're going to try and keep you all entertained. You know we love our festive message, our festive story, and lots of inspirational content for you all. And then it won't be long before you all are able to open your advent calendars and your Christmas Eve boxes. Yes, I'm a giddy kid, as always. So whatever you're doing, have a lovely afternoon, whether that's creating, walking, whatever you're doing, have a wonderful day. And I'll see you all tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Take care, guys. Bye.